I feel like I should be opening this video with greetings and salutations, friends, since, in a way, this really does belong on the main channel where we talk about Warhammer 40k, the franchise, the lore, and GW, but what we're mainly going to talk about today is the writer everyone's heard of, so I'm going to put it up here instead, and just in case you were unaware, I do have a 40k lore channel as well, which is simply just called Arch. But Space Marine 2 was recently announced, the long-wished-for sequel to Space Marine, a Relic's rather excellent third-person hacky-slashy Space Marine simulator, where you murdered vast quantities of orcs and the occasional Chaos Heretic as well. And I really want to just be excited for this, but immediately something was off, wasn't it? I'm going to use this excellent article from Overbounding into Comics here, a fantastic site that I highly do recommend you check out, as they've done a lovely little write-up on this. Senior writer support for defunding the police and blacklisting cis white men sparks concern of a game's narrative. Unsurprisingly. Now, there are some other issues with this as well, definitely, like the fact that there are 4 gold service stud on Titus' brow here, suggesting a 200-year time skip since we last saw him being taken away by the Inquisition, which, that's one hell of a way to return to the franchise 200 years later! Alrighty then, what happened to the Inquisition? Nobody knows. Hopefully they'll explain this in the video game. He is wearing a chain with an inquisitorial symbol on it, so I'm presuming there's some kind of backstory there, but I do fear they're simply just going to tell us rather than show us or give us any actually good reason for it. This immediately sparked quite a bit of worry on the internet as people came across the senior writer, who initially introduced herself as the lead writer, I believe, in a tweet, which she later deleted because she wasn't actually the lead writer, she's just a senior writer. And, well, ACAB, all cops are bastards, including hall monitors. In case you've forgotten, all cops are bastards. When we say defund the police, we mean these assholes too. It is still all cops are bastards, it is still defund the police. Rightio then, so this is Ashley Cooper. She is a trans woman and she is very, very political on Twitter. Now, let me be the devil's advocate here for a second, because this doesn't necessarily mean it's doomed. Not necessarily. It's a warning flag the size of Texas, absolutely, but as I've often lauded Black Library for example, most of those authors are far, far, far to the left. Some of them are proper crazies, but by and large they manage to keep this out of their books. Although they've been failing to do that more and more recently, but honestly I suspect the reason why we are seeing more and more personal author initiative in Black Library is because Games Workshop themselves just don't actually give a shit about their setting anymore, honestly. That is literally the only explanation I can come up with for why they would greenlit giving the Emperor the name Nioth. I feel the tumor in my brain grow larger every time. Anywho, me and my brand new brain tumor companion aside, this was during the riots in 2020. We must return to civil discourse is leave me to my bigotry in peace in well-off white speak. Sorry, cishet white dudes, comics don't belong to you, comics never belong to you. Which makes it sound an awful lot like this chick is exactly the person I've been warning about repeatedly in the gatekeeping videos. The kind of politically active ideologue, outsider, the leech, frankly, that comes in to a hobby and goes, no, you know what? This is mine now. I know you let me in. You were nice, welcoming. You let me in, you taught me about comics, you showed me cool stuff, but no, mine now. You you can go away. In fact, no, I will actively lobby the companies, the industry, and the creators to banish you, who were here long before me, out of your hobby. And then, when I'm done with my little hobby genocide, I'm gonna stand on a pile of skulls and go, "It was mine all along." I hate that so much. And to be fair, again, let me. I shouldn't be so hyped up on this. I really shouldn't, because here's the thing. This is a tweet from January 2018. Maybe this person isn't like this anymore. It's entirely possible. And to be fair, they did put up a tweet here to the 40k fans who started following me. "We know how much this universe means to you. We know how much have happened to try to continue the story. We at Games Workshop want to do the game justice, and the fans hope to share more soon." I want to believe that this chick is able to set her political opinions aside and just aid in writing a good Space Marine game, but god damn it, every single solitary time I've tried to give somebody on this side of the political spectrum the benefit of the doubt, every time I've attempted a charitable interpretation, it has bitten me in the arse. I literally cannot remember one time I was like, but maybe it won't be terrible, where it actually hasn't then turned out to be terrible. Because, right, the fact that this woman is a trans woman should have nothing to do with it. I'm entirely fine with calling her a woman, because I don't really give a shit. If you're an adult and you decide that you're living in the wrong body or whatever, okay. I do think you should undergo, like in Norway here, for example, we have a requirement that you should undergo a year's worth of psychiatric help, basically, to make really, really damn sure that you want it, that you understand the consequences, and that you are fully informed of what you're getting into, because it is a pretty major surgery, and there's no going back from this. Like, once you're over there, that's it. You best be happy, because there's no do-overs, which means it needs to be English, which means we absolutely have to be 100% certain. But once that choice is made, I really have no problem respecting that as just a point of basic courtesy. And besides the obviously nonsensical defund the police absurdity, and again, I mean, this isn't 2020, so it's a hell of a lot more recent, and I will not relent on calling people who think that abolishing the police is a good idea complete and utter idiots, but just like I am entirely, like, I urge people to put aside their politics, and if they can do that, they can come into the hobby, they can come into anywhere and be alongside the other hobbies. That's cool. Now, whether or not this woman can do that, the past indicates no. But again, it is an older tweet. It's 3 years old. I'm tying myself in knots here to try and be like, it might be okay. It's not for certain. To be fair as well, I believe here we go. This guy is, I don't remember his title. I think he was a pretty big shot within this. And he seems to be coming out actively and going like, no. We're gonna do our best. We love it as well. We are going to make this a good Space Marine. And by God, I hope they succeed. I hope I am thoroughly wrong on all of this, because I'd love a Space Marine too. Now, it's a much smaller studio that doesn't have much of a pedigree here, if indeed anything at all in relation to this. I think they've adopted some Halo games in the past, and that's about the closest they've gotten to dealing with something on this scale, but at the same time, Relic had never done something like Space Marine before either. But, man, it is difficult to not remember that Space Marine was created by Relic. At the height of their power, popularity, skill, and passion, when THQ was still a thing. They loved 40k. And this is another thing too, we keep saying this these days, or keep seeing it. People make 40k games and they have the little miniatures and they're like, oh, we're totally fans of this. As you see the recently opened boxes in the background and you're like, yeah, sure. you just kind of have to take it with a sigh and a silent prayer that maybe they actually are. We're gonna have to wait to see some actual gameplay to really start judging. I did think that the trailer, it wasn't quite as wacky and energetic as I wanted it to be, but on the other hand, Company of Heroes 3's trailer was awful. And that game's actually shaping up pretty damn well so far, so I want to be optimistic. I want to just chalk this up to my own little bigotry, okay? I want to be like, okay, this person's political opinion, in my opinion, are absolute lunacy and should not be allowed out in the public. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a bad person. It doesn't. It doesn't mean that they're a bad writer. Hell, they could be a fantastic writer for all I know. I've not read anything they've created. Now, there is the one there. I don't know if this is a meme or reality. The writer of this wrote this. I mean, that's a less than lovely indication. And of course, you've also got Femboy Warhammer. You've got the people with the political flags in their profiles already going out and championing the cause. I'm very worried for Space Marine 2. I am very, very worried. Let us hope and pray, because that's all we can do. Hope and pray for a good Space Marine sequel with more action. They need to have a Horde mode back in, and the multiplayer to expand upon the multiplayer, slow it down a notch, and, you know, you're not Relic, so you don't have an excuse for leaving in horribly unbalanced weaponry. Relic gets to get away with that because it's Relic. It's literally what they do. But you gotta do better. You have to do better. The standard is higher. Unfair? Yes. But nevertheless. Until next time, I've been Arch. Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do remember to leave a like and a comment in the section below for the glory of the algorithmic gods. Till next time, have a good day.